Hello and welcome to Flappity Flap Podcast. This is your host, Brandon and Sarah.
Hi.
So, I saw an ad for PragerU, which is Prager University, which is not a real university.
Where did you see the ad?
I saw an ad on, I believe it was an Oni Plays or a Game Grumps, one of those. It was on YouTube.
Which is really weird, though.
It was on YouTube. Well, I probably got it because I have watched right-wing news, left-wing news.
That's true. I forget that's, yeah.
I've seen all kinds of stuff. You know, I don't really limit my sources.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a lot of conflicting ads.
That's true. Yeah. I guess it's not based on what you're watching in that moment. So I forget that because it just seems weird and wrong that you're watching like pretty safe to say liberal, guys and gals.
Yeah, they might be kind of moderate. Maybe like left. They're probably like left leaning.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're like full on like hardcore liberals, but
I mean, I think based on like LGBTQ members of the community and the fact that they're artists and mixed with a lot of different people, at least those two creators.
Anyway, let's not get into that.
Let's not get bogged down by those details. It just struck me, that's all.
So I saw this ad for PragerU with none other than the man himself, Mike Rowe.
Penis. Are we gonna say it every time?
No.
Oh.
Mike Rowe. Yeah, the joke that Aaron made on Game Grumps, I don't know if it was actually his joke. Mm-hmm. I don't really know, but he said, "Do you think Mike Rowe goes around telling people that he has a Mike Rowe penis?" Which was pretty good.
Probably safe to say not. Not something you'd advertise.
Yeah. So this ad this video originally came out in 2016, but for some reason I saw it like a couple days ago, and it's titled "Don't Follow Your Passion."
Seems like good advice. On the face of it.
Is terrible advice. So
it's terrible.
He basically was calling it terrible advice, and that what did he call them? Some famous movie stars telling you to follow your dreams.
He hates when he watches the Oscars and people get up there who've won their awards and they tell you don't ever give up on their dreams.
Yeah,
because that's awful advice. Mm-hmm. He knows, speaking from experience.
Yeah, Mr. Mm-hmm. TV star talking about, some famous movie star, as though he doesn't know what that life is like. Yeah. I was going to look up his net worth.
Okay. Well,
because he's acting like he is some blue-collar guy, and it's such bullshit. Mm-hmm. He is a TV star acting like a blue-collar guy, possibly guiding people, guiding younger people, and it's just not right.
So do you think when it pops up on the screen and he says he's going to give you the dirty truth and it goes whoosh, and it's kind of logo-y,
yeah,
that's just exploiting his dirty jobs? Like, did he create and kind of own that brand? Because otherwise I think it's a little shitty, it's a little shady to like pull in those people like, oh, if you like this, because I liked Dirty Jobs. I thought he was such a likable, approachable, kind of relatable guy. He had great screen he does,
He definitely seemed like that.
And I'm not blue collar.
And he's not blue collar.
Yeah.
He's a TV star. He does voiceover work for like Ford but he's got this like fake persona of like, I'm a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
You're fucking not. You're basically like Eric Trump?
Who knows? Yeah, whichever brunette Trump.
I saw a fucking video of that asshole, and he was in a tattered hat and like a plaid shirt. Yeah. You fucking bitch. You haven't worked a fucking day in your life. God, it pisses me off.
I mean, it was universally acknowledged, at least by the left, that like, you fucking faker,
It's such bullshit. But he like, it... Anyway,
so let's see. Mike Rowe, net worth in 2021, $45 million. This is according to wealthypersons.com. I have no idea.
So this dickhead,
$45 million, yeah,
is a television star.
He's not doing too bad.
Who's incredibly wealthy, telling people basically, what does he say? Let's see. So first off, they take it very literally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these famous people don't know what you could even possibly be dreaming. And they have a cartoon of a guy like flying, like he's Superman. He puts a cape on and he jumps off a building. I mean, so they're clearly catering to the lowest common denominator.
Including themselves. Because, like, I mean, you need to know the difference between follow your dreams, as in your passion, the thing that is calling you, and your actual dreams that you have when you go night-night, and you close your little eyes, and you're tossing and turning, and you're flying.
And you're driving a monster truck or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, because he uses, like, Lady Gaga, I think, as an example. Like, Lady Gaga doesn't know what your dreams are. Yeah, no, that would be weird.
Yeah.
She's saying, like, if you want to be like me, if you want to be a pop star or an entertainer, and you're really serious about it, follow your dreams. That doesn't just mean, just keep dreaming about it and keep, like, auditioning. It means, like, work at it. Because that's part of it, you dumb fuck. I mean, it's just like, it's like they don't know what literal and figurative is, are. But you can be smart and, like, still say words bad. But, like, I mean, basically the actors are saying, so there's a lot of, like, celebrities who've gotten where they are because they have family in the business. But also, like, my mom used to kind of trash on Taylor Swift because I think her dad or family's in the business. I have no idea. But she's working at it. So she might have had an in.
She has skills.
She probably wouldn't have gone
that she has
further than the first few years if she wasn't working her ass off. And, like, I mean, she had an advantage. But there's plenty of people who started from nothing and kept at it because they understood that they didn't want to do anything else and that they had to work hard. And I think where people get stuck is they think they really want this thing, but they don't want to put in the work, or they need some guidance,
Or they're like dumb Mike Rowe, dumb ding dong Mike Rowe, who thinks that it's a magical gene that you're born with.
Yeah.
This comes later in the ad, but he talks about idolizing his grandfather, who was a tradesman, and I'm assuming a carpenter and just a handyman. And so Mike Rowe says, that was my dream. I wanted to be a handyman, but the handyman gene passed over me.
Yeah.
Which is such bullshit. You don't come out the pussy with magical skills. You have to learn them and work for them. And I don't know, I'm not good with words, but
I disagree.
He kind of belittles the work his grandfather put in by saying, it's easy to my granddad. He spent his life working towards it, or, gaining those skills. And you can gain those skills in anything. Like me, I'm an illustrator. I do animations. I can draw. Anybody can fucking do it. Yeah. I'm nothing special. And then he mentions, like, not margins, but narrow opportunities. Like, if you're shooting to be number one, you're probably not going to get there, or it's going to be difficult.
I think his example is everyone wants to be like a rock star or a movie star, and there's just not enough space for all the people.
There's so much space.
Yeah. And the thing that he isn't allowing for is that if you keep going, all those people who, like you see at the American Idol auditions, will fall away because they're not really that passionate about it, or they don't have the drive or the focus or whatever to keep going.
Yeah.
So they will fall away. And if you're passionate and focused and you keep
fun.
Yeah. So that all falls away. And you can find niches, you can just find different tweaks in your career to fit a need that maybe you didn't know was there to begin with. But you just keep going with it. Partly because if you're in tune with yourself, you know there's no other choice. You know that you're not going to be happy. I don't buy for 1 second that Mike Rowe would rather be building houses than being a fucking TV star. What I think he was passionate about was he wanted to be like his granddaddy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really passionate about being, you know, whether it was an architect, because I don't think he was clear about whether he was a handyman, a construction guy, or
carpenter,
you know,
probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
but
he
I
was
don't
a
know.
carpenter.
He said he could build houses without a blueprint.
He either wasn't passionate, so
Yeah.
Mike either wasn't passionate enough about it, or he wasn't smart enough.
Yeah.
Either way, he could have become a handyman.
Yeah.
It's just, and you don't just fall into TV stardom.
Yeah.
If you know, his situation is so weird and unique, and to act like
It's bullshit.
it
That's
applies to anyone else in the world is fucking insane.
It's bullshit that we would feel sorry for him that he didn't get to pursue his dream of building houses, and instead he just got stuck being a TV
millionaire.
star. You know,
Fucking asshole.
I mean, yeah, I think so. And I remember someone on Facebook kind of splitting hair. Well, I thought it was splitting hairs at the time when someone commented on one of your illustrations and they said, "You're so talented." And someone else said, "Talented or has just worked hard at it?" You know, and I guess I don't know the exact definition of talent, but you had, I think, as a young kid, an initial drive and affinity and inclination towards art and drawing, and then you worked at it over the years because maybe you felt like a compulsion or whatever, and you continued working at it and honing your skills and just practice, you know. And that became, quote unquote, maybe talent, what people perceive as like, you have this natural talent. No, you worked at it and you tried other things and you kind of got blown off by or discouraged by family members to do other things, which was a good thing, because I think at that point you were trying out other careers based on what your family members did, and you know, or they would say you should do this because it's stable, and then you'd go do it and they'd say, well, you shouldn't do that, and it was like, so you kind of kept coming back to art.
Well, and the funny thing is that there's competition in every job.
Yeah.
Like so Mike mentions a what would you even call it? A septic cleaner?
Yeah.
A guy that sucks turds out of what?
Not with his mouth, like with it, you know, you said that and it was a visual,
okay.
and I want to purge. Purge that.
So in that instance, there's not a lot of people clamoring for that job,
right.
Obviously.
Right.
But, you know, if you want to be a mechanic or a lot of these tradesman jobs, there's a lot of competition for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's going to be super easy being a tradesman.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, and you have to get all kinds of, like, I think, certifications or, you know, do kind of ongoing education, at least to continue leveling up. You don't just like learn how to fix a car or a tractor and then you can be hired by someone. I mean, you have to have, I don't know if it's licensure or what. You'd probably know better than I, but you have to be specialized and certified. And, I don't know.
There's competition.
Yeah.
It's tight. But, you know, if you want to be a musician or, you know, if you want to be like a rock star or an artist or an actor, whatever things he's saying are like dreams you shouldn't follow.
Yeah.
There's just as much competition there as there is in, you know, fixing cars or plumbing. I don't know if there's a lot of competition in plumbing, but...
Well, I think he's just getting confused.
You have to be good at it.
He's saying he's using passion as like this kind of temporary fleeting thing. Like, oh, I'd like to be a singer like Lady Gaga. But he used like a couple words where he kind of described it as it's not consistent. And it's like, well, that's not passion. You don't really have a passion for it. You have a, you know, temporary, like I said,
infatuation.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's true. So he talks about,
which is fine too, though. It's fine to like try things out. And then if you find that you're really into it, go for it. Do you, I think is the better advice. Instead of trying to tell people, don't ever follow your dreams, which he literally says, never follow your passion, but quote unquote, take it with you.
Yeah.
So you can always have that little doubt in your mind of like, oh man, if only I had done this.
I think he means be passionate about what you're doing. He's kind of saying bring your passion to what you're currently doing. Like kind of like be happy with your normal job.
I thought he was talking about the passion as in like the thing you like.
No, I think that's where he's getting confused though, is like he doesn't know what passion means. He doesn't define it, and he doesn't kind of stick with a single definition of it. So he talks about the septic worker, and he says, the guy eventually came to love, become passionate about other people's crap. Mm-hmm. I don't really believe that, because I think if the guy had a chance to retire or had, millions of dollars, do you think he'd continue doing that? What the guy is probably passionate about is that he's an entrepreneur, maybe, and maybe he's found creative solutions to dealing with crap. I could see why that would be exciting. I mean, dealing with waste and kind of revolutionizing that, maybe finding something more sustainable, I don't know, or more cost effective. Like, you're passionate in that job or industry that you're already in. But I don't believe for a second that Mike Rowe regrets, like we already said, like being a TV star instead of being a carpenter. Just like I don't believe that if that septic guy had no constraints whatsoever, that he would continue being a septic guy.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks. So it's like there is that problem of we need jobs being done, but
they will continue to be done.
But they'll be done by people who aren't single-mindedly focusing on their actual passion. Like, and you do need those workers, and maybe
or people that are working towards it, because you spend
maybe they're temporary
time in your life doing jobs. Like, I have spent a decade or more doing jobs that I wasn't super into.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't.
Well, I think part of the problem, at least in this country, and definitely in others, but for sure in this country, is be happy with what you got. We're not given the right messages because people like parents and grandparents have been through scarcity. Like I think my grandparents very much grew up in either the Great Depression or with the remnants of the scars of the Great Depression.
They were probably children,
and they're very either very focused on, my grandma is always asking me, well, what's your next career move? Or like, are you loving your job? And I'm like, no, it's another paralegal job that's slightly better than the last one.
Yeah.
This isn't I'm not passionate about this. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at it because I want to be good at my job, and that gives me satisfaction.
Yeah, it is satisfying to be, God, I am fucking terrible with words. To be
excellent at your...
Not excellent, to be efficient.
Yeah.
I really love efficiency.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a job and I can make things like ever so slightly more efficient.
Yeah.
And be quicker and better at it, that's kind of an exciting thing, no matter really what you're doing.
Yeah. I think within my job, I've gotten passionate about being better at it. There's things about my job that I don't like doing at all.
Of course.
That I would like to avoid.
That comes with every job.
But like, if I had my choice, I wouldn't be doing that. I fell into that job because it was safe, it was secure. It's interesting, but I'm not passionate about it. There's aspects of it that I'm kind of passionate about, but really I'm passionate about creative stuff. I'm passionate about reading. I'm passionate about, like, I'm not ashamed to say anymore, I'm passionate about, just the arts. Like, and that includes TV and movies and talking about them. And I'm passionate about humor and making people laugh and being made to laugh. Like, and it's taken me, my aunt said recently, our family is kind of slow learners. And I don't know if it's that or if it's taken us a long time because of our upbringing to realize, like, I can pursue my dreams and my passions. And now I have more confidence and wisdom to do it.
I think everyone is slow learners.
But I think because a lot of us in our family have gone back to school late in life.
There's a guy on Insight Timer, the meditation app. You can get it on your phone, named Shinawa Hawk, and he does a guided meditation where he talks about when you're a child, the adults around you are kind of forming your brain. They're planting these seeds, and it can be kind of dangerous because depending on what they've planted, you may have to uproot some of these trees.
And it's hard.
Later in life. Like, you're not good enough or, whatever.
You don't have comment. One that I probably only heard once or twice in my life, but in my head, I heard it over and over. Like people had drilled it into me was, you're more book smart than street smart. Like you don't really have common sense, and I carried that with me for a long time. I do have common sense.
But also just a way of living your life. Like, be safe. Have a backup plan.
Right.
Don't
plan for your retirement.
Or like Mike Ding Dong says, don't follow your dreams and listen to me and don't stray from this thing that I'm telling you. Instead of, which is something that's more healthy, is like, be your own person because everybody's different. And you can't take your own weird situation, Mike, and project it onto everyone else.
Yeah. Well, what I love that he says that just made me fucking laugh was employers are struggling to fill nearly 5.8 million jobs that nobody's trained to do. Like it's our obligation and responsibility to not follow our dreams because we need to be filling these jobs that no one wants or is trained to do.
How about those fucking rich CEO turds quit following their fucking dreams of running people's
having
lives
all the money
and learn a fucking trade? How about
there
that?
should be like a rotation. Like, okay, you guys are done with that. Now you rotate down to the bottom ranks and you do some of those jobs and we'll rotate up.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, but
you don't
just
have
like,
enough people, you be the people.
Just by virtue of the fact that there's all these jobs that no one's trained to do or willing to do or wanting to do. Okay, so work on the robots. Because that's when you get the robots to do those jobs. But so we then have to take that on and like not follow our passion to fill those for you while you're sitting up like a fucking fat cat in your fat throne with
and Mike
making $45 million.
And Mike, you hypocrite.
You fucking hippopotamus
quit your fucking TV job and go do a fucking trade job.
Go build house. I don't know why I started talking like, go build houses, Mike.
It's infuriating to be manipulating people this way.
But you're right too. It is dismissing his grandfather's work. Like he was just born with this innate ability and it was easy for him. Like I think people think that about you. It just comes so naturally. And you're like,
people think that about everyone. You will have a skill and it's this dumb thing that is in everyone's brains to just be like, oh wow, how do you have this talent? It's like I've done it for decades.
And
that's why I'm skilled at it.
And the reason you've done it for decades is because you're passionate about it.
I'm not talking about just me.
I know.
I'm talking about
But I'm saying everyone like with a skill. Like I'm good at languages, foreign languages or just languages because I like language. I mean, sometimes I struggle with words, but I learned Spanish. I took some French. I took some German. I like it. Other people don't like it. It didn't just come naturally to me because, I didn't like it because it came naturally to me. It came easier to me because or that's what it looked like, because I liked it and I spent time.
Exactly.
And I enjoyed doing it.
It's like when I was in school falling asleep to everything I was being taught because I didn't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have no passion in it. So it just does not.
In one ear and out the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in the meantime, your soul's being crushed. I mean,
which is why I'm skeptical that Mike was passionate about being a carpenter.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be like
because it's easy to learn that
granddaddy.
Kind of stuff.
I think he wanted to be like granddaddy. I
mean, that kind of stuff sticks to me.
Yeah.
Because I actually am kind of interested in it.
Mm-hmm. You can tell when you have an interest in something. I just don't.
It's like when one of my closest friends tells me about stocks and my brain goes numb.
Yeah.
And no matter how much I want to be a good friend and listen to him talk about stocks, I go wall-eyed and my brain shuts off.
I feel like you could just tell him that because he clearly has like a genius, or savant.
He is just interested. Again, stop. He is just interested in it.
Yeah.
That's why he is good at it.
Yeah.
Because he cares and he will learn. It sticks.
I mean, I understand why it would be cool for us to be interested in and good at it because he's making money. Mm-hmm. He's making money
but unfortunately,
sitting in his house,
Unfortunately, not everybody has an interest in something that is going to be super profitable.
Yeah. It's not quick, but
no matter what, it's kind of an uphill slog.
But do the thing that you are interested in, because otherwise you're wasting time on this earth.
Jim Carrey said something.
I bet he did.
He said a lot of things.
Yeah.
He said something that you can fail at something. I forget exactly how it goes, but you can fail at something you don't really want to do. So why not take the risk and follow your dreams?
Fail at something you do want to do.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I really borked it up, but it's basically you can fail at being a tradesman. Mm-hmm. Clearly, because Mike Rowe did, apparently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just do you, I think, is the best advice. Yeah. And just make the smartest decisions for yourself. And I actually have a story of my grandpappy, who was a homicide detective, because his parents planted those seeds in his mind of like, get a career that you will always have. Mm-hmm. They will always need police officers.
Yeah. They thought they were doing him a service with that advice, like so many parents.
They did. And he was naturally, a born artist. He had interest in art, and he wanted to be an architect. He could have been a millionaire, but instead he worked a miserable job, was the most stressed person he could have possibly been because he chose this career path. Mm-hmm.
And it impacted his family.
It impacted his family. He was abusive.
He was miserable.
And during that life, he created art, like on the side. He did like carvings and paintings. So he was like, he had like these little sparks of who he really should have been in his life, while just doing the fucking slog that Mike Rowe wants everyone to do, apparently. Yeah. And it's like, had he pursued his passion, actually like given it a really good try, he probably would have been very successful, because that is, I think, what he was actually destined to do.
Mm-hmm. I think when you compare like your life and your process, I mean, you kind of have been steered like he has, but then I think when you were getting so many conflicting messages about, we'll do this, well, don't do this. We'll do this, well, don't do this. Well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Well, like, I'll just do the thing that I'm good at and that I'm interested in.
Yeah. That's kind of why.
Like, I'm done listening to you people.
I did stop listening.
I mean, that was like the best thing that you could have done. Unfortunately, you lost some time. I mean, I've lost time. I could have been doing this shit for years.
I lost a lot of time. If I had just not listened to anyone and done what I wanted to do when I was in high school, if I had like bought a tablet and just started in on what I wanted to do and gotten skilled at it, I mean, who knows where I would have been now.
I think the funny thing, which I meant to mention in the beginning, which we had talked about, is he uses American Idol as an example.
Yeah.
And he talks about, the show and how people go on there and they're horrible singers, and someone must have given them bad advice to follow their passion.
And they're surprised when the judges say nope.
Yeah, which I think is just like, also, he as an entertainer should know what entertainment is, which is a lot of times staged, set up, manipulating the audience, And my sister auditioned for American Idol. It was years ago. It was probably like 2010, maybe 2012. And we went down to Southern California in Pasadena, and it was like thousands of people. And that was just for a certain region. And
who, by the way, I'm sure a lot of the singers or a lot of the people that auditioned that were serious probably had decent voices.
Yeah.
It's like Mike Rowe thought that everyone who auditioned was just crap.
Yeah.
It's like,
but the people who get on the show those aren't the real auditions. Like, but they don't tell you that because it's television. So all those people, so what it was for my sister's auditions was it was like a stadium's worth of people, or a half a stadium worth of people. First of all, you had to register like 2 days ahead and then come back for the audition. And you had to be within a certain age range, like 18 to 28, I don't even remember. So when I would then later see old people, like even in their 40s, and they'd be humiliated by Simon Cowell, I'd be like, that's fucking fake, because they wouldn't let someone who was 40 in. They put him there as a plant.
What was the age limit?
I don't remember. Oh. But I'm saying as an example, it was like 18 to 26, or, like I don't even think it hit 30, because 30 was just a little too old. They want young, beautiful people.
Yeah. So Susan Boyle.
She's America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad.
Which, you know, she was probably a plant too. I don't know. You know, they'll find someone who's like a dumpy whatever who has an operatic voice, you know.
It's television slop garbage.
Yeah, but
we found this ugly lady. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
First off.
But it's just
and she can sing. Wow.
Just because it's called reality TV doesn't mean it's reality. Like, Mike Rowe should know that better than anyone. And so you would have these people and they'd go 3 at a time in front of judges, and there's like 30 judges under a little tent, and you have 3 people at a time who get about 15 seconds to sing, and then they dismiss you.
Yeah.
And then if you're lucky, you go to the next stage, which is still not Simon Cowell's stage.
And
you know?
Because they're filtering through so many thousands of people,
yeah,
you know they're just searching for like one particular like flavor that just is very rare.
Or just a powerhouse. Like,
yeah.
My sister, I think, knew, at least in the back of her mind, that she was not passionate to the point. She didn't have a voice coach. I mean, she'd been to drama school. She didn't have a voice coach. She wasn't actively training. She didn't even spend that much time. Like, it was partly just like, let's see what happens. I think I have a good voice. And she does have a good voice. But she's not, like, trained like some of these people.
And a lot of people, I'm sure, get up there and they're, like, very nervous.
Yeah.
Because you're on stage, you got thousands of people behind you waiting.
But in this audition, you're not being heard by all these people.
Oh, okay. So you go into a room.
No, it's outside. At least for us in Pasadena, it was outside. It was in the stadium. So you go down and your family's waiting, and you know, you get called or whatever, and you go and there's like 3 people at a time in front of a judge, and there's like 10 to 20 to 30. I don't even remember how many judges.
Yeah.
And you sing, and the second person sings, and the third person. And if they like you a little bit, they'll tell you try something else, sing another thing, and it's like 15 to 30 seconds, maybe. Yeah. And if they don't, you're just dismissed. Thank you very much. Bye. And the people who were
stressful.
weeded out. It wasn't that stressful,
really
I think, because it was, right. I mean, but go do it some other way. Like, this isn't your only opportunity. This is just like possibly a quick way if you're, but not even quick, because you've probably been training for years to be filtered out to the next stage.
Well, and again, to circle back, there's room.
Yeah.
There's room for singers.
Well, like Dave Grohl said with these, like, you know, build a band shows or X Factor or American Idol, he's like, I hate that because it's not real. Mm-hmm. What you have to do is you have to practice and struggle and be shit and get better, but still be shit and get better and practice and practice.
And morph your style.
And build a base and, you know,
a base?
An audience, like a fan base. You know, so it's just quote unquote reality TV. But if Mike Rowe doesn't know that people who get up in front of Simon Cowell and sing like shit, I mean, I don't know who the judges are now.
Plants.
They're not real. They're not the real. It's just entertainment.
And look, also, maybe if you are bad, maybe you will get famous, like the She Bangs guy. I mean, he was just a laughing stock to everyone, but who knows how much money he made? Yeah,
but that's rare. I mean, you know, and where is he now? I mean,
I have no idea.
And a lot of these people who make money like really fast, like they don't plan well. And
I'm
going to guess
that he wasn't passionate about singing.
Yeah.
Like you said, he was probably a plant.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I think it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the point of it is, if it's just propaganda. I don't know what the end result is, except, I guess, to keep people down and doing these, you know, jobs that they don't really want to do. So they don't try to be rich like him or his cronies, you know.
Or, yeah, that could be it. Or because, I don't know, all these rich turds are all in cahoots. Maybe they are looking for tradesmen? I don't fucking know.
I mean,
it does seem very strange. Like, what is your motivation?
I mean, I don't know what the answer is, because there is a lack of, especially now, skilled workers for these jobs that are needed. But, you know, all joking aside, maybe mechanation, what's the word?
They're overworked and underpaid. That's the fucking problem.
But like, if
not that there aren't enough people with those skills.
Yeah, but I mean, if everyone followed their passion, you probably wouldn't have many septic workers. You probably wouldn't have. You might have mechanics, because there are people who are very passionate about how things work and fixing things.
You have people that are passionate about being entrepreneurs too.
Yeah,
like Turd Guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he was clearly passionate about building a business. That was
Yeah.
his passion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not turds, Mike, you dumbass.
Right. Yeah, the guy probably just would say that because it was funny and it was a good like story. And here's my success story. Maybe the guy was fooling himself, you know, but I can't imagine. Yeah, I think, you know, I could see your passion being, because I get excited sometimes about ways to sustainably or efficiently process waste. You know, like I think that's exciting. And that would include people shit, animal shit, garbage, you know. So that's one aspect of that. I imagine that is very fulfilling. But yeah, I just don't think if you handed that guy a few $1 million that he would continue doing that. I mean, and also he's not physically doing the septic cleaning or whatever.
Not
He's
if
got
he's
people
CEO.
doing it. You know, he's got people doing it for him. So of course he's more passionate.
He's in an office.
Yeah, I'd be fairly passionate about that, I guess.
Yeah.
Or I'd be a lot happier about that.
Well, maybe he's not in an office. Anyway,
Anywho,
I
sir.
think it's reckless and not good for our youth. I think it's not healthy for our youth to hear this kind of garbage.
Yeah. And hypocritical, to say the least. I
Very
mean,
hypocritical. A TV star, and just the way he said, some famous movie star, like, you are that.
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Well, and this
I
isn't-
fear to think of how many people he has influenced with his nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, I just think if you are passionate about something and you keep trying to do the smart thing or the thing that opportunity has led you to, you know, that there's like a gap in, you know, a need for, I think it will keep coming up for you. Your unfulfilled passion will keep coming up. For me, it was like, you know, I think I was like gaining weight and like drinking more. And, you know, like before I met you and in my last relationship, like not really listening to what I wanted to do. And then I would have dreams. I would literally have dreams about, you know, like orcas. Like that was a symbol for me of my creativity not being used, expressed. And now I don't have those dreams, you know. I mean, and they were frustrating because I was always trying to get to that orca. It sounds weird. I was always trying to get to it. It was always in the distance and it always was gone by the time I got there. So it was very frustrating because I love orcas and I love marine biology. So I think what it represented to me was this unfulfilled thing. I wanted it. As soon as I started seeing a life coach and doing podcast stuff, I stopped having those dreams. And it was like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I just think you'll keep it'll either come up in terms of like discontent, like
Regret.
just not being happy in your current job, just longing, wanting to do something else, not knowing how to do it. You won't just be able to stuff it down, or it'll come out in your family life. You know, maybe
Yeah.
you're abusing substances or abusing people.
Well, and you may not have the means to follow your dream. I mean, obviously, you have to be sensible about whatever it is you're doing.
But sometimes you also have to like stop listening to people who maybe you've listened to all your life. Stop listening to the quote unquote world wisdom of like, you need to find something that is stable and reliable and safe.
Take a
and
risk.
Stop, you know, don't think, you know, it's different if you're older. I get it. But still, your retirement shouldn't be the number one priority. Your happiness and your fulfillment should be, and the other stuff I think will follow. You got to be smart about it. And that's why if you need guidance, you get guidance. And it's not always cheap, but there's other ways to do it.
You can also talk to other people in that field of, you know, whatever you're interested in. Like if you want to be an actor, try talking to other actors, see what they do.
Yeah.
You know, try talking to actors that are maybe more decently successful and see how they got to where they are, or see if they can lend you a little info.
And I mean, I think there's like free workshops and there's free, like you don't have to buy a $90 masterclass or whatever.
And just because you aren't number one, you know, in Hollywood, doesn't mean you can't make a good living.
Yeah.
Like, look at Mike. He's not some giant star, but he's still a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's so many different jobs. I mean, there's so many different types of acting jobs, voice acting.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, so many.
Once you get into something, it branches off into so many possibilities.
Yeah. And that's just one industry. So, I mean, I think that just as a human being, you can't take this advice of don't follow your passion and understand what passion means. It's like your calling. It's that thing that you feel called to do.
Yeah.
Even if other people tell you it's not a real job or it's a pipe dream or
like Hank
it's not
Azaria's
worth,
dad.
Yeah,
when
it's
he
not
was like,
valuable work.
It beats real work. Hank Azaria should have said, "Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
This is real work. I kill my voice every time I do mow."
Well, and I've seen that thing go around of like, oh, kids have it so good these days, but isn't that what parents wanted? Didn't they want life to be a little bit easier for their kids?
And also, parents, you had it easier than your parents.
Right.
And so on and so on and so on.
That's what we want.
You had it better than the cave people.
That's what everyone should want.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to go through the Great Depression or whatever. Like, I understand the wisdom, but so much of the wisdom I got was like,
it's fearful.
It's fear-based. It's fear-based. Don't follow your dream. It's not reliable. That's not sustainable. It's not stable. It's not safe. They don't want you to be poor, but I mean, really,
they want you to be miserable and safe.
But they don't know that that's what they're saying. But it's like, if your kid expresses an interest in something, be like, all right, I'll help you. You got to work at it. It's not just going to come for nothing.
Interests change.
Yeah.
So, especially with children, they jump from thing to thing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do karate. I want to,
I've definitely done
do
that.
this or do that. I mean, but that's fine. It's part of being human and learning all these new things around you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might settle on a thing. And I think it's healthier for parents to maybe feed it if the kid feels like they're genuinely interested in something.
Yeah. So just to be clear, PragerU is not an actual university. It's just like an online media channel or something. Of they're trying to tell you that you're educating you, but really, I think it's just propaganda.
It's false advertisement or advertising, in my opinion. Calling it a university when it's not at all. They don't give out degrees.
Yeah.
Man, my English is.
It says it very
suffering.
prominently when you look it up on Google. It says it's not an accredited university. There's no diplomas or certifications, and it's just a thing like I said with certain companies where within that company, like they have their learning portal, which is called something university, but I think it's
where they give out training and certification.
That's true. But it's not. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. But you're not getting like a diploma from it. Like, it's not a university. It's not actually a university.
No, but it's more of a university. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The work training.
Yeah.
Is
It's not a university, but it's still more of a university than PragerU.
Than PragerU?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
nice
my
try,
gosh.
Mike.
So Mike says being and ability have nothing to do with each other, which is such bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're talking about being born with a skill, which isn't really a thing, and if it is a thing, it's a very rare thing.
Yeah, like child prodigies or...
Yeah. Passion and ability are connected. If you have... We already went over this, I think.
Yeah.
If you have passion and if you're passionate about something, you're probably going to more easily become skilled at it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do agree. Try to be passionate in what you're doing. Try to have integrity in it, because I think that is at least temporarily will fulfill you by doing a job well done. But, also reserve your real passion and energy maybe as much as possible for your real passion. I mean, that was really eloquently put, but,
Well, we're both being very eloquent here, but
right.
I feel like we have good points.
I hope so. I mean, we think we do. That's cool.
I think Mike Rowe seemed pretty eloquent in his teleprompter.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see his eyes. He was reading.
Right. In his scripted teleprompter delivery.
But it was bad advice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Telling people to never follow their dreams is terrible advice.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's propaganda.
When people follow their passion, they miss out on all kinds of opportunities.
Your delivery is
so says Mike Rowe.
Is just like his. Yeah. Yeah, no, I disagree.
So basically, take any opportunity that comes your way. So if a job pops open where and you've got nothing really going on, but you
don't really want it,
you don't really want it, take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
Good advice, micro penis. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, I think knowing that he is, has a conservative bent and that's where this is coming from made me more angry. And I should probably be more mindful of that. But it's just, if it wasn't so clearly, there wasn't so clearly an agenda behind it. Like, if he really thought this was good advice and he was just doing it on his own and he wasn't endorsing this. I don't know. Initially, I thought he was endorsing a university for people to go to. But I guess he's just... This video is just part of that group of other videos and media. Yeah.
There's a lot of them too. I've seen other PragerU.
I just think it's part of the Richie Rich, and I don't mean the kid, but the richest people, just
the little piggies,
just trying to manipulate us into being happy in our position where we're meant to be.
Yeah.
And be happy
serving
with our part as a cog in the great machine.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, your time is coming to an end, in terms of that, inequity. And how fucking dare you,
Conservative Mike Rowe in the liberal arts.
I mean, if he was like an actual just carpenter somehow, and him, obviously he wouldn't have the reach and exposure. More sense. But so it's kind of like a circular argument maybe, because he wouldn't have that reach. He wouldn't get to so many people. But if he said that, his opinion would have a lot more weight. That message would have a lot more weight. But you're telling me be happy as a septic worker guy.
It would be more typical
than a TV star.
Because I was raised to, have a backup plan and be safe and kind of not follow your dreams. Do what pays well if you can.
Right.
And so I've been so conflicted through my life that it has kind of fucked me. That thinking has stunted me. And I could, if I had started with my passion earlier, I could have been so much more successful at this point. Potentially.
Right.
Because it's an if.
But you've learned so much too.
That's true.
I mean, I guess that's a way, is I never want to go back and change things, because I wouldn't be where I am today, which is very happy with you and with what we're doing. Like, obviously it'd be cool to have
Ditto.
more money, but
I'm just saying for the listeners' sake, just listen to yourself.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to follow your passion, don't wait. Don't try to do the safe thing. Don't try to just follow the opportunity.
Especially if you have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the means to do so, oh my gosh, jump for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Rowe, the hypocrite.
Yeah.
He's
not the only one.
It's infuriating.
It is infuriating. Yeah. Well, we've talked for a long time. Let us know what you think. And
yeah, I would be very interested to know.
Mm-hmm. Unless you disagree, and then I don't want to.
Well, if you disagree, let us know.
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Let us know your thoughts.
We'll know your thoughts in the comments or a review or something. That's all I have.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.